Okay, we are in the Abandoned Mausoleum. There's a series of secrets you have to lock in order, which I'm going to help you with today, that will reveal more about Mr. Brookhaven, his whereabouts, and what will the future will bring, so to speak. If you look, it will remind you kind of that agency house that has the underground sewer type system. We have to do it in order, activate all these buttons. I'll show you how to do that. Let's get started right now. So we're going to go to the basement. I call it basement. I mean downstairs. There is no basement, okay? We're off to a good start, right? No. Come down here. I actually have a flashlight, which you will need. You'll need to be shorter and a flashlight. The shorter will come up very quickly, but we're going to read this first note. It says, "Brother, why do you fight against good? For it is the only way back to which we came, Mr. Brookhaven." So you got to click this note. There's going to be a bunch of notes you got to click too. If you did it right, it'll make a little sound. Okay? Now we're going to go over here to this gray, kind of rusted out casket. This is where you got to be shorter so you can actually get in here. If you can't get in here, you're not going to be able to get this button. But here's this button. If you get it, it lights up. Okay? Now we have two of them so far. Come up here and toward the back of the mausoleum. If you look up, there's some crystals, those energy crystals. Get those, it activates another button. Now, we're gonna go downstairs. There's a note right here. We're going to zoom in. Let's read it. "The time has come, for there is fear and there is peace. Peace is to have faith, and faith is to sleep. To have faith is to think, and to think is to be alive." There we go. Activated another one because you click that note. Okay. Now, go upstairs. We're going to go back to this back light brown casket right here. You're going to lay down in it. If you lay down, I get it? There we go. It activates this energy in the middle of the room. Wait, why am I stuck on the ceiling? Okay, so you activated the energy. Oh, yes. There's a button over here that's invisible. If you click it, you just saw it turns black when I clicked it. That activates it. What that does is bring this cage down. We're going to read this note in the cage. And it says, the cage I have been in for years has begun to weaken. Oh, brother, there is a change coming, and it's beautiful. Mr. Brookhaven." Okay, he seems pretty positive. Make sure we click this. Okay, that's another one of your buttons. So we're moving right along. Now we go downstairs. And it's not the ladder part yet. I think it's this one over here. Yes, it is. Once we click that, there's this painting that should seem familiar. It is inside the castle, and I believe there's a variation, if not the same one, inside the museum. It says, "A peaceful man stands tall, but a brave man stands for peace." Okay, we've activated that. That would indicate another button. When we press that one behind the casket, come out here. There's a bird sitting here. You're going to click that bird. Okay, now we come in here, and is this the... It's not the... I keep thinking everything's the ladder. Oh, no. I know what this is. Come in here, and we're going to go over to this white casket right here, okay? If you look out here, there's a button back here. Press it. There we go. It unlocks this painting. I don't know if we've seen this one before. Maybe we have. "Only through kindness and love can peace of mind be achieved." Okay. And if you look, we've accomplished a lot of these buttons so far. So we're going to go back downstairs. Now the ladder is activated. Well, I don't know why I kept thinking it was going to be activated over and over again. I was wrong. I'm going to go up to this rooftop. Now, when you go over here, there's a little ledge here. There's a clock here. Now, you're going to have to read the clock. So it says 11:55. What that means is this is the time you're going to put in right here to activate the next part. So here we go. Doesn't do anything quite yet. You just have to put in the number first. Come up here. When you get it back up on the roof, you got to go back to that clock. You might have already noticed. Looks like you got to click it. Activates the next part. Now, the next part is actually I want to show you this. Before I go to the next part, I kind of skipped over it. If you look, there's a big beam of light shining from the heavens. So we got to go up to the top floor. Come over here. There's a note sitting here actually too. Let's zoom in. It says, I have always been with you, just in another place. The time has come for me to ascend to a place where others await. It's kind of like, it looks like it's saying that Mr. Brookhaven is gone. And I guess he's no longer with us, and maybe he's not coming back to Brookhaven. Maybe he really truly is gone, which he seems to be at peace with, which is pretty cool. Okay, we grab that book. That's our next button. We only have 2 left. If you look, we go downstairs. There's a burning book. Kind of creepy. Grab that, activates that. Okay, so we have one last thing, I believe. Let's look back up here. Yes, one last button to activate, and then we'll see the final message from Mr. Brookhaven. Okay, we go up top here. We're going to go back to that clock. Now it says 12 o'clock. So what that means to you is you have to put 12 o'clock in here. And there we go. It's at 12 o'clock. Now, let's go up that ladder. We're going to click the button on the clock. We're going to click the clock is what I mean. There we go. Actually, it looks like that light disappeared. Let's see what that means. So that light did disappear, but it turned into something else. It's a chair. I don't know what this chair means, actually, but there's a note here. Nothing is forever except change, for change is merely the beginning of something new. Like I said, this appears like Mr. Brookhaven kind of saying goodbye, and he's at peace with it, and that we should be at peace with it too. Which, I don't think that means that the end of Brookhaven. I just mean it's the end of his story. There's probably lots more stories that Wolfpack's going to add for us. Speaking of Wolfpack, let's look over here. And he says, what does Wolfpack say? Forever grateful, Wolfpack. Now, that's pretty cool. It kind of shows that we should be at peace with Mr. Brookhaven being gone and all the stuff he gave to Brookhaven, which is pretty cool. And what's next for Brookhaven? There's probably a lot of really cool stuff. But if you look, we completed all those buttons, and the mausoleum is complete.